Um, okay, so
You guys are
speaking
so
of
funny.
working and twerking, we're gonna bring this
Okay.
out. Are we ready for
Okay.
this?
Did you just
Yes,
say
we're
working and twerking?
Working and
Did you just say
twerking. I
working?
did working and twerking. So last week got
I
manifestation.
shall not
So
be twerking. I will leave that up to the two of you. I shall
Well,
not personally be
I
twerking.
shall twerk very well.
Shakera and I got this. We'll do the
Oh, good.
twerking.
Okay,
No
good, good.
worries. We got it. All right, here we go, you guys. Let's see what happens this week. Ooh, it is mental health.
Oh,
Ooh.
wow.
How fitting. All right, this week's
How
topic, you
fitting.
guys, is mental health. Super fitting.
Well, I have to admit, yeah, I think that's why that positive, practical spirituality is so important. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Really? After a year of pandemic in Texas, which has not done very well, period. And we won't even go into that whole conversation. Um, a friend of mine a friend of mine was telling me this story. Her adult children, they were in a grocery store on, I think it was Monday, right as all of this was hitting.
Mm-hmm.
And they were in the grocery store and they were in the back of the store and all the lights went out. Absolute pitch dark. And the next thing she knows, the daughter-in-law was sharing the story. The next thing she knows, there's a woman somewhere close by who is all of a sudden like, are you kidding God? Okay, now let me just tell you, there's been the pandemic and the this and the that and the blah, 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 blah. Are you kidding me, God? I'm a good person. I pray. Are you kidding me? Da, 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 da. And now the freaking lights go out. And she said the entire store just burst out in laughter. And it was so completely what everybody needed.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
Speaking the
oh,
truth, baby. Speaking the truth.
Well, when they say you can talk to God,
oh my
when they say you can talk
gosh.
to God, that's a perfect example. Don't even worry about where you are or what time it is. Just open your mouth and speak.
Right.
Oh,
And you know what I mean, but isn't that what we were sort of all feeling? And I think, I think that mental health is so what's the word I want? If we're not talking about clinical mental health, right? We're not talking about clinical depression or clinical schizophrenia or those kinds of things, but in general, mental health. I think that one of the cornerstones of mental health is the difference between hopelessness and hope.
hmm.
I know when I notice for my own life that my mental health is really challenged. When I feel stuck, I feel hopeless. I think, really, are you kidding? Like Job, one more thing, are you kidding me? Um, and um, and if I don't have the coping skills, whether they are psychological coping skills or spiritual, a spiritual place to stand, that for me, I think is one of the most critical pieces to ensure our mental health, to and for me to get out of, if I fall into depression or um, really feel yeah, crazy in some way, the thing that helps me is hope, that I believe there's a way out, there's a way through. What about you guys?
Well, so I suffer from anxiety and panic attacks periodically. And I remember I was having rather specific, a nasty one in bed. I was just feeling the spiral happening. It was like just getting worse and worse and worse. And I remember that week, that month, our whole theme was about gratitude. And I remember laying in bed and just like, all right, just what's one thing right now that I'm grateful for? I have a warm bed. Start really basic. I have a warm bed. My husband is next to me. I have two little dogs who love me. I have a nice house. I'm clothed. I have food. You know, like, and so I just that. So then the anxiety spiral became like a gratitude spiral,
Wow.
and it took all of the charge, all of the angst out of it. And I was suddenly like, oh, I can breathe now. Oh, I'm fine now. So that's something that I swear by because it worked for me. It's like start naming off things that you're grateful for. Spotting, we talk about spotting the good, calling out the good.
Yes.
I immediately start doing that whenever I feel that, that inner voice ticking away about how everything's not great. So that's something that I
Wonderful.
use a lot. How about you, Shakira? Any tips?
Well, I too have issues from time to time with anxiety and depression. Um, and one of the major things I do is when I give myself a little time to feel,
Hmm.
because sometimes it's there to tell me something, you know,
Mm,
maybe I need to slow down. Maybe I'm going too fast. Maybe I need to release some repressed emotion instead of bottling it all up. And once I'm able to determine what that thing is, I spend that time with doing the thing, with slowing down, with self care, with a little bit of pampering or whatever it is that I need internally. Because I recognize those things as all symbols pointing to something that I need, or signposts pointing to something that I need to do for myself. And then also, whenever I feel like I need to express myself, I lean into the community of people, and this is important, that can support me moving out of that place, not just wallow with me in it.
Yes.
mm-hmm.
Because talking to the friends that are just all in their own stuff and they can relate and that's it, that while that is fine and well, it doesn't help me go from point A to point B to remembering that I'm not outside of my good. And that's something you've been teaching me, Dr. Petra, in these classes that we've been doing, is that I'm not separate from that thing, that good that I need or that I decide is good for me. And so having those connections, those elders, those people that are also on the spiritual path, those coaches or counselors or prayer partners to reach out to and to say like, hey, I'm in the middle of a thing, and can you hold on to this vibration for me until I can get to the same place, or seed into me that knowing that it is going to be fine, it is okay. And then I do look around my life too, and I give that gratitude. Sometimes journaling it out helps as well,
Mm.
for both of those things there.